happens if you're underpaid, you're trying to sustain your vehicle, and your brakes go out, and that's the reason why you run the red light?
Why are you still driving that car? Your brakes just don't go out. I'll be honest with you. Like
that before.
That's not really like a thing that. Okay. Okay. You knew your brakes were failing.
You heard
that? Don't lie. You were using that emergency brake a couple of times to stop that car.
You heard that 10-mile speed.
Yeah, you knew better. You knew better, my guy. We all got somebody we know we wouldn't get in that car. You. Welcome back to Chocolate Espresso Podcast. I'm your host, Thomas Newair. We're Flojo Fans and Do Piggy. We got our mains back in the office.
What's up? King Dez. Aha.
What you got?
Yeah, I don't even know what he said.
Nobody knows what he says. You just let it go.
I just said my name and laughed.
Hey guys, it's Tanaja Aaliyah. Why does it sound weird? I'm hearing.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, is my mic not on?
Your mic is muted.
Yeah. Because I don't hear myself in the mic. I hear my. Yeah, there you go.
It sounds distorted. Yeah, it sounds disoriented.
Now I can hear me. Hi, everyone. It's Tanaja Aaliyah.
See, if she sounded soft-spoken before, it's because the mic wasn't off.
I mean, technically, I thought the audio was pretty good.
No, it was actually pretty nice. Actually, it was picking you up.
Now I just hear some screeching. I'm joking. I love you, baby. This is the article, right? It says, goodbye to speed cameras. This state has been forced to turn off all speed cameras. This is a victory for the people, you guys.
Yo.
Now, to be fair, I didn't
do that up here. Okay.
We don't even have speed cameras in Minnesota. But,
right, so what are you talking about?
No.
We don't.
No, I've been surprised. You know where they put them? They put them in the suburbs where I deliver at.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And I'll be trying to get these packages done, man. But anyway, continue.
Oh, Lord. It's a win for Iowa. This is where it happened in. I'll read off some parts of the article, which is interesting. It says the new legislation requires local governments to apply for permits from the Department of Transportation (DOT) to continue operating automated traffic enforcement systems, which include speed cameras. These governments must prove that the speed cameras are both necessary and in at least receptive way to ensure that traffic safety is, I guess, enforced. So I'm actually kind of hold on. I'll keep going.
Wait a minute.
Less than half the cameras were approved when local governments across Iowa requested both fixed and mobile speed cameras, which I didn't even know you can have a mobile. I mean, I guess you could, but I guess speed cameras active at 348 locations. The DOT granted approval for only 154 of them, which is less than half. A 7-member panel was responsible for making these decisions. That sounds like at least 4 of them said, "I'm tired of these cameras." Or at least 4 of them said, "Y'all didn't give me you didn't give me enough kickback money. You didn't bribe me enough."
You said it was 7 people. It was 7 people.
7 panel.
It was probably split down the middle, and the last decision was that one guy that got pulled over. One of the speed camera, and he's like, "Nah, today's the day."
Some of these speed cameras, that this is crazy though. Some of these speed cameras are capable of, like at stoplight, like red light cameras and stuff like that. They look down into your vehicle, so now. If your phone is on and maybe you got you should be on your phone if you're operating a vehicle anyway, but let's just say for a quick second you needed to check your account or log into something that's private, you're not legally allowed one, to be on your phone, but 2, you don't really have any privacy on public land. Like, that's just a given. But the cameras are sometimes actually operated by a private entity that has nothing to do with anything. So, like, they could be stealing your identity and all this other stuff. There's been issues where people are, like, literally both hands on the steering wheel, and their phone, there's a phone mount, but it's near their knee. So the camera pings it as you on your phone.
Wow.
So you have to go to court, and then they have the photo, and you're like, you can see them clearly not on my phone, right? But because everything's automated, like, not everybody, like, there's supposed to be a human that checks this before they send out the ticket or whatever. But again, if I own a business, I'm going to do whatever makes me the most money. So I'm not going to staff somebody at every freaking photo and tell them like, no, just push it out and see if somebody's ever going to.
If anything, for regulation purposes, you're going to just make a small team to audit 10,000 photos a day, and so it's going to get through because they're going to be overworked and sick of it.
They're just going to put
I mean, even though with that though, you just said you want to do the thing that makes you the most money, but that technically loses you money when it goes to court for no reason.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
Especially if the person is there to argue like they weren't on their phone.
But like, it could be as simple like here in Minnesota, you can go to it's not like a judge, but like not like when you go to pay your ticket and you want to fight it, you go to the courthouse, and then like they will tell you, they'll tell you like, okay, look, you can either pay this or you can fight it, but if you're really like, I saw your whole record, like you ain't got nothing, so let's just like you know, pay up to like 10% of the ticket and be done with it, or take your chances. You know, we'll see you in court. But I mean, if you're able to just go to that, it's like the equivalent of, what do you call that? Not arbitration.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's the equivalent of that, where you just sit down and you show them evidence, and sometimes you just get thrown right out. But in some other state, I mean, again, I don't know the states. Some states don't do that. They're just like, no, you want to fight it? Okay, here's your court date. Show up to court and talk to the judge directly. So,
whatever the people in power say goes. So.
Right. But this, I mean, 348 cameras and only half of them were approved, or less than half were approved. That goes to show that there's probably been enough complaints that, hey, these cameras aren't picking up on whatever you're actually trying to relay to people. And this article goes further and it talks about why they why they're referencing critical safety issues, right? The Iowa Department of Transportation examines critical safety issues in making these decisions, including traffic violations that led to accidents as a result of crashes and several injuries/deaths. In addition, the panel evaluates whether or not less receptive methods are controlling vehicle speeds in the area have been fully exhausted. Now, this is where civil engineering comes in really good, right? And one of my pastimes is looking at the different like technology that's coming out in the U.S. for the DOT in general. And like people are talking about like, how do you, like, if you look at a road as a whole, in a community that's being redeveloped, or you know, maybe they're building a couple of hundred houses in this area, they say, okay, we can build a straight road, but then of course you're going to get people that are going to be like, oh, I can go like 70 miles, right? Let me just speed on and see how it goes. Like, how do you stop that? Well, you add turns, you twist it, right? You blind, you know, like an intersection, spots, like you make it where people don't feel like they can safely operate at 70 miles an hour when they could have anyway.
Like roundabouts and stuff.
And roundabouts and stuff, right?
Things that literally force you to yield and
slow down. And,
Now, speed bumps. You can do speed bumps and stuff like that. Now, nobody cares for speed bumps.
Nobody cares. I don't. People who don't like speed bumps, even the transportation system don't like speed bumps.
You know what, though? And also, with all these new cars, like the way they're making them now, like to be more futuristic, Tesla, the speed bumps will actually destroy the bottom of the car. Like, I don't know if you see like I don't know if y'all saw it the other day, the Tesla when they had their what is it, was like the new rollout of like the vans, and then there was another car or something like that. It's so low to the ground, so some people were like screenshotting it and like not screenshotting, they would just post the picture or whatever, and this was like mainly Twitter, but they would put it on there and they would be like this car versus a speed bump, and they're like, good luck or goodbye to the whole bottom of your car.
Speed bump 1,000%.
Yeah,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But again, it's all about the technology that comes into play. You already got issues with people not wanting to stop for pedestrians. Like, you can put up some lights, you know, and then
like
let's just say, you know, and
like I've seen the pedestrian walks that have like the flashing yellow light,
which I highly recommend in quite a few areas. Like that I personally believe there's several areas where it's probably not the best tool to have in that one spot, because there's not enough pedestrians that are crossing at this specific intersection.
Right.
But there are definitely some other areas where I'm like, no, there's definitely pedestrians, and they should most definitely put them lights.
I feel like every school walk should have the blinking one. They're getting more serious about putting it out there, but there's still like so many school lanes, and I'm like, there should be at least like one per.
I would argue that
direction.
Middle school or anyone under, like, if there's an elementary school specifically deserves those in the surrounding like quarter mile where you might have children walking. Yeah. And I think middle schools, and they might be phasing out middle schools now, but middle schools definitely. But high schools, you know, F them kids. They listen. They don't put speed bumps. They don't put speed bumps in their playgrounds and schools for a reason.
Anyway,
my man said collect 300 points.
Nah, joking aside though. But yeah, no, it's interesting that, I mean, they're citing that though, right? Like, speed cameras have made accidents happen to the point where people are dying. Like, that should go to tell you, like, people are willing to make dramatic changes to their driving behavior because they don't want a ticket. So are they slamming on their brakes?
Right.
Are they shifting in the lanes?
I wonder if that is possible, because I don't know if you've seen it, but you have we have them in Minnesota. They have like the mobile speed cam, ones that give your speed limit on it, right? And they can spot you like a ways back. But I have seen people driving that have been like, it's 40, they're going 50, it's flashing and says 50, 50, 50, and you see them slam on their brakes down to like 30. Yeah. And then they're going to gradually get up to 40. And it's, you know, you don't know what happened in that car, but still at the same time, it's like, that's people's premise. People's premise is like, oh, snap, all right, cool, I'm gonna stop. But they already in motion, so they're trying to stop now because they know there's a camera. They're gonna take a picture of you. You're gonna be like, "Oh, here's my ticket."
Dang! What were you gonna say?
No, I was just.
Oh, you gotta piggyback on it. You know what though? I say it all the time. Like, there are people who drive for themselves. Yeah. They don't care about anybody else around them.
They don't care.
You know, there's a saying in some of these industries, right? I gave you 5, now I'm gonna give you none. So even if it's 55, I went 60, and now you want to tailgate me, so now you're going to get nothing. You're going to get 55 or less. Well, you're in the far left lane. Right. Congratulations, it's legal, right? Like, technically, if I was a cop, I would have pushed you over to the next lane because you're not supposed to be in this lane.
I mean, I saw this video, and I totally agree with the video that left lane is meant for people who got ticket money. You ain't supposed to be driving in the left lane if you ain't got ticket money, or if you don't care about getting that ticket. But like,
you can speed in your Camaro because you gonna pay it anyway.
There's like that I could think of, and that deals with this conversation directly. And then it was something that you were saying too with the crosswalks in the neighborhoods or whatnot. My pet peeve is the stop signs in the middle of the block for no reason.
Okay, yeah, those.
And I don't know if that's just a Minnesota thing, because I don't remember if we had them in Jersey, but it's very annoying.
That makes no sense. I've seen it.
Especially when it's not a 4-way, it's a 3-way. So it's a traffic going, you know, what do you call that? Double-sided or straight and back. And then maybe there's the third. Right. The third. But then there's also the ones that, I mean, it was more rare, but I did see the ones that it's a 2-way, and they'll still have the stop sign in the middle of the road. Because it's like, now that's weird for me, because it's like,
Why?
I've seen it.
You're only going straight.
That's the only place you can go. Right.
I've actually seen that at where it's county lines or city lines met a different city, and it's in the middle of a block. Like your neighbor lives in White Bear and you live in Maplewood. Okay. And they put a stop sign right there, and I was like, why? Like, stop. Now look at the little sign that says "Welcome to White Bear." Right. Like, what?
They put so much effort into them signs, man. They put in so much effort in them signs.
You know what though? Fascinating enough, I do think it is about traffic control and speed control. Like, if it's in a red, I've seen it the few times I've seen stuff like that, like at a T intersection, where it definitely makes more sense not to like stop me if I'm straight and I'm not veering into another direction. There's really no reason to stop me.
Right.
That would go into that's a more broader conversation of making sure that, hey, traffic in this residential area should be 30,
right?
And somebody who wants to merge, either turning left or turning right, should just make sure the road is clear to do it.
Yes.
You know, why are you stopping me at all? You know,
right.
Yes.
So,
but that was the first one. I said I had 2.
I think
something about I said earlier. About schools.
So that was that one. And then the second one was, I think the second one may have been the driving in the left lane when you're driving so slow.
Me, I was always taught it was 5 up, 5 down. So left lane, you go 5 up. The middle lane, you go to speed limit. And the right side, because it's merging lane, you go 5 lower. Yeah. You got to adjust to the people coming on.
Yeah.
That's what I was always taught.
I was
always taught that. That's why you got 3. 5 up, the driving speed, and then 5 down.
5 to 10, you know.
Yeah.
In the left lane, though.
So I got a back to the article. Are speed cameras really effective? Ooh, here we go. Do you think it's effective? Do you think it does more benefits for the community than it does
harm?
Yes or no? It's a quick yes or no.
If you were to ask me, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't have an opinion on
that. The thing was when they first came out and they did the keeping track of speed and people who actually ran red lights and they took a photo of their car like the moment they crossed the line threshold. When it was doing that was perfectly fine. Like, should have kept it there. I don't know why we did anything else. And I want to caveat to that because I just read an article about a guy who got up on a stoplight and he got arrested because they were starting to take pictures of people during the yellow light on people's cars. This had just happened. So they were sending people tickets and giving them violations for going yellow when we know the legal road rules for yellow. And so they were getting pictures taken then. So then when stuff like that happens, it's like
money grab.
Right, exactly. See, whenever there's other powers at play, it's like something else. And so it's like, I don't know.
Here we go. The developments in Iowa led to a larger conversation. Are speed cameras really making streets safer? While cities in New York have embraced these systems, recent statistics show that road safety may be lacking. In New York, despite widespread use of these cameras, total number of traffic fatalities have reached the highest point since before COVID-19.
I mean, that's different, though.
No. Since before.
It's New York.
Before.
That's exactly why I think that's more scary.
But you know why it shouldn't matter is because New York has such a high population, which means they have more of these cameras in certain areas, which means the population is aware that these cameras exist. And they still don't care.
It's New York.
Do you think New Yorkers
I think that you're missing the point that I'm making.
Do New Yorkers have money like that to just be paying speed tickets left and right?
They live in New York. You know how expensive it is to live in New York?
That's fair. You know what?
I don't even know if they got enough money to pay for it. I just think that they probably too slammed right now with the sheer number of people that got tickets. You ain't gonna be called until next year. You gonna have the money saved up to pay for it by then.
Here we go. The mayor's annual management report revealed that there were 275 traffic fatalities in the fiscal year of 2024. Wow. So it's not even, I mean, I don't know where they do their fiscal year, but if 2024, last I check, ain't over since this recording. So that number is most likely going to continue to go up. This raises a crucial question. If speed cameras are supposed to make streets safer, why are fatalities rising? And again, maybe that's because people are slamming on their brakes trying to avoid getting a ticket, which I think is the first natural response to a lot of people, especially if you come from a state that doesn't have cameras that take photos of you and send you tickets to your house. I think that would be, I would have done it. If I was on the street and I'm in a city where I can go 10 and ain't no problems, no way, no how, right? Or 10 over. And then I go to like Chicago where you go 10 over, that's a ticket.
Right. Guaranteed.
I'm going to slam on the brakes too and be like, oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying?
See, in Montana, we ain't got to worry about that. I can hit 100 for about 20 minutes straight. No problem.
Oh, man. And you know what, though? How would you... Okay, I'll end this pod with this one, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think Minnesota should utilize speed cameras in certain areas where speeding is very common?
You know what? Okay. This whole conversation, right? I'm so sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. It's not the speeding that's the problem. You know, I can't tell you how many times, and I know that you don't know this, but you're always in the car with me when I say this. Where's the cop when you need them? For the things that it's needed. The broken taillights. Come on. get it fixed or stay home.
Okay, Karen.
The cars that technically don't even
Cars that shouldn't
it's
be
like
legal to
clapped
drive.
out.
No,
how did it even start?
There are some jukeboxes with wheels
That
rolling
is
around.
the problem. The speeding is one thing. Like, yeah, speed kills, but speed has always killed.
Hey, now speed does not kill. I mean, it could, but no human being in a vehicle is ever going to go fast. The average person is going to be in a vehicle that they bought from a dealership going fast enough to actually kill them. It's the abrupt stop.
Whatever.
That kills
It's
them.
the contact.
Yeah,
They're not going to
kill
whatever
themselves.
speed to zero.
They're not gonna do that to themselves, but to another person, they may hit them, and that might end that. So,
And also, I feel like
yes.
it's to go off of that. I also kind of feel like it's kind of funny how we're so like, oh, we put these rules on the masses, right? But then when your favorite celebrity takes out a whole family in a G-Wagon,
We don't talk about that.
and they get a bail of $5,000, but you can't get out even though marijuana legal.
Listen, you just got to have a lawyer like theirs. Like, why are you complaining? This is how it works. This is capitalism at its finest. All right.
Oh, my bad. I got to get richer. All right.
Yeah,
all right,
my bad.
My
Pull
fault,
yourself out of the bootstraps, my guy. What you complaining about? Nah,
Work hard and make it to a Diddy party. That's all you got to do.
Oh no!
That's crazy. He's trying to get us killed. He's trying to say, hey, you gonna wake up tomorrow and don't worry about what happened yesterday. Nah, you know what though?
Oh.
You might have been onto something a little bit though. As harsh as it may sound, there are going to be people who just cannot afford to. They really can't afford the vehicle they got.
Stay home.
No, for real.
You know, they really. Hold on. They really can't afford the vehicle, but they need the point A to point B, or they want the point A to point A, whatever. Right? If public transportation was like Japan, I would be like, yeah, okay, right?
Right.
Our government should absolutely start pursuing these clapped out
Or
vehicles
like
that
New
need
Jersey,
to be
New
jumped.
York, because
New
they
York.
have New Jersey and New York have pretty good
transit system.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I think.
Well, yeah.
See, and that's the other thing, right?
They do.
If our government decided to instead invest that money back into local public transportation and make sure that this infrastructure was more accessible, and again, shut down the roads for these vehicles and instead dedicated it towards healthier practices like bicycling,
Right.
roller skating, whatever. Even heating the streets so you don't have to plow it.
Yeah.
They could have done a lot of that so
Get
that
the
way they could
bicyclists
save
off the streets. I'm from New Jersey.
Okay. Here's my
Y'all
thing.
know
Here's
my
take.
stance on that. Y'all know
I
my stance on
understand
that. I'm
the
from New
economy
Jersey.
of like cool. I'm not going to do the vehicle, right? I love biking. I love the joggers. Cool. Get off the road.
Thank you.
The road is made for cars.
Thank
The
you.
road
That's
is
the
made.
problem right there.
Like we've seen them. They've done
Thank
it.
you.
They've made the asphalt sidewalk and they've cut it in half. And they were literally jogging icon,
Lindas,
bike
listen,
icon,
Lindas.
and that's literally so they
Because
can.
just how you can split the street up and give them a little slither of the street, you give them a little slither of the sidewalk.
Listen, Lindas. That's the roads were literally built for everybody.
Nah.
They were redeveloped for cars. That was the problem. That's the problem. Redevelop them again and make it back for everybody, and
No.
only designate certain areas
So
of
you
cities for
going? So
vehicles.
it's okay to be walking in the middle of the street, and you got to stand at a stop sign.
If the road
I mean,
was
stoplight?
redeveloped and redesigned for that, yes.
We're not driving wagons. I don't know if you because everybody riding in a wagon. The G-Wagon is a thing.
She's like, I be damned if I pulled up in a Porsche
Listen.
Yeehaw
Listen.
No one has
to this
horses.
festival street.
I think it's 100% fair if you're in a residential area, like designated, like block per block to block to block. It's houses.
housing.
I don't think it should matter if a bicycle, a jogger, or somebody wants to walk in the middle of the street because this is a residential area.
Yeah, residential area. But now when you're having it on County Road C, you got it on a major road.
You know what? Listen.
Why am I yielding
Redevelop
to
the
a
road.
bicycle?
Redevelop
Get on the
road.
sidewalk.
And
Stop
again,
playing.
if we look at all the empty, vacant parking infrastructure, like again, if public transportation was more accessible and it made more
That's true.
sense, people would be going from their house to the little parking ramp, parking their car, and hopping on the train or the bus and going to work within 30 minutes, which would be just the amount.
It just feels it feels hard because you feel like you're trapped. Because when you go to a job, they literally tell you like, no, if you get on the bus, you're not getting this job. Like I don't know what to tell you.
It says it in the application.
They say it in the application. You need reliable transportation.
Yeah, reliable transportation.
And reliable transportation is you have a carpool, you have a car.
Do you have reliable transportation?
And if you say the bus is not reliable transportation,
but that's the sad part about it. All the money we delegated to building a train station out to some pissant town.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if we did make a quality infrastructure where like a bullet train is running every 10 minutes, then it's like, don't you feel like more employers would be like, all right, cool, we are right here at the bottom of the city. You get off the train, you walk 2 blocks at work.
Then it's okay.
Then it's like right, train. You're not gonna have a problem because when you work at the Mall of America, over here in Minnesota, they don't ever ask that.
No, because you're within technically an hour.
The train station is in the basement,
and because. To be honest, they're not paying you enough to have a car. So let's just be honest.
The sad truth.
He's spitting facts over here now. No, I listen. I get it. The only thing I have, like, I don't disagree with. Our government should be going after these clapped out vehicles. My only concern is if you're going to go after somebody who this is the only form of transportation they got to get to work, because I work in some rural areas and like the Dollar General that they got is the only grocery store for miles.
I'm not saying that the government should go after them. I'm just saying, like, if you don't have taillights,
get out of my rear view mirror.
If you don't have taillights, it's 8:00 at night.
Why you driving?
How do I even know you coming?
That's fair.
How do I even know you're in front of me?
And I'm the biggest hypocrite because there was a period of time when I was out of taillight. I was still driving, so I need prayer. I ask for forgiveness.
And right, like right. I'm not just being a butt. Right. Okay. Let's just say, and not let's just say like I'm making it up, but okay, it's 8:00 at night. Right. We're coming up on winter right now. You know,
for real. And you haven't gotten your tire serviced in 3 years.
Your tail lights are out. No one can, number one, see you coming. They can't even see the road in general with all the lights on it. And then you don't have taillights.
And your engine is bungee wrapped to the top of
the Not the bungee cord as an engine.
That's what I'm talking about. That scenario is what I'm talking about. I'm not just saying they should just be randomly. Yeah. I'm not just saying like randomly they should just be pulling you over because your car clapped out. No, I'm saying for the general hazard of it. Like, you're hazard.
What happens if you're underpaid, you're trying to sustain your vehicle, and your brakes go out, and that's the reason why you run the red light?
Why you still driving that car? Your brakes just don't go out. I'll be honest with you. Like that's not really like a thing that. Okay. Okay. You knew your brakes were failing.
You hurt. You ain't
My
heard
guy,
that?
don't lie. You were using that emergency brake a couple of times to stop that car.
You heard that 10-mile speed.
Yeah, you knew better. You knew better, my guy. We all got somebody we know we wouldn't get in that car. You the one I wouldn't get in. To be fair, I'm saying the government should though. I think they should, and I think they only should when the government is taking responsibility and giving us another form of transportation that is reliable.
Because when you're like, we know for a fact, we have it audited, we have all our checks and balances. This works. You do not have to do this.
Right, and
now I'm providing you a consequence. Then I'm providing you a consequence that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, but don't like screw me over both ways and be like, yay.
They're gonna be like, we got you a bullet train. Now it's $30.
$30 on pullover.
$30 a ticket just to get on. When you get off, it's another $30 to get back on.
Imagine what if, like, when you got pulled over for a speeding ticket, it was an immediate $50 fine, and if you paid right then and there, it was discounted to $40. Do you think people would like speed and then pay the cops? Like, no, I got $20.
Because listen to what you just said. Groceries is no longer $40. Groceries is $400. So
no way.
It's not even $40 to put gas in your tank, depending on what car you got. It's $400. So
Oh Lord.
you got to think about what you're saying. The prices of everything.
The way
is
that some of
high.
these vehicles be guzzling gas, and I'm learning that in class too. In my mechanics class, and man, some things gotta use diesel. That's all I'm saying.
that's. I mean, why do you think certain dealerships? We was just driving past the dealership the other day, and he said the mechanics at this particular dealership don't even drive this particular dealership's car.
No,
They drive other cars.
Yeah.
Mechanics at
'Cause
dealerships
they
don't
know.
drive the car brand.
I would be a
they
Tesla
work at.
mechanic, and I would buy a Honda. I would take that paycheck and buy a Honda.
That's what they do. I
would
literally
so
had
do
a
that.
friend that worked at a GMC dealership, and the guy literally drives Hondas. Like he's, but he's like, yeah, it's a good car. The Regal is a good car, and I'm like, why don't you own it? It's like, because. Because what? Like,
I said it
don't
was
sell
good.
me
I ain't
this
say
car.
it
You're not driving it.
It's like, because I said it was good. I didn't say it was reliable.
Right. It's good at making me money.
He said, "Man, I just work here. I don't understand what you. When you ask all
It's
these
my day
questions."
job.
Right.
This is how I make my, this is how I pay my bills. You know?
Right.
That's
that
true.
exact motto. The 2017 tracks. At Equinox. Those engines, man. Easy money. You can pull that boy apart in a day.
I mean, I guess it's kind of the equivalency to working at Apple and having a Samsung in your pocket, though. So I guess, or
man.
T-Mobile, and you got
Man,
right.
I feel like it's worse. I feel like it's worse because of how clan oriented Apple is. For you to just pull out that Galaxy,
Bro, that'd be salty.
and you do the editing where you make that all neon lights on it, and they're just like, "Sir, put that away." While you work here, you have a work phone.
Oh my god. Side note, and then we'll wrap this episode up because it's getting kind of late. Apple surprisingly will take your iPhone from you if they think there is a data breach in the company. There was reports right after COVID when people started going back, or right before COVID, before everybody had to go home, that somebody leaked the iPhone. I think it was like the 13 or whatever that was right
Back
before.
then,
Yeah.
back then.
And they literally had everybody put their iPhones in the thing, and they were able to go through it because you signed a disclosure that,
Oh, wow.
you know, to figure out, okay, well, who
All
took the
employees.
photos? Like, yeah, everybody that they figured
mean,
where the
that's
department
fair.
came from, where the leak came from.
Right.
Listen, I don't want to work for a company that takes my personal phone.
My personal phone would be a hard
I mean,
thing
you
for
took
me.
your personal phone to
But then
leak
again,
company business.
you offering me $250,000 to just sit in this chair and do some coding. Okay, well, here.
I already got 3 more.
Let me
at
know
home.
if you watch the same videos I watch. let me know. I'm gonna keep
And
that
if you find that
job.
hidden folder, that hidden folder gonna have some pictures. All right, might not be the ones you're looking for.
If you know somewhere else where I can get it free, no, right? All right, I'm done with this conversation. We so off topic. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Peace.